Well, the defense rests in the Cory Bigsby murder trial. The Hampton father is accused of killing his son, Codi Bigsby, and concealing his body. Dan Kennedy is following developments inside the courtroom. Joining us live now. Dan.
And good afternoon, Janet. Yes, we have wrapped up from the day. The jury will be back as well as both sides tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. to hear closing arguments, and they will get jury instructions, and then finally the jury will go on to deliberate. I want to bring in our legal analyst, Ed Booth, today to talk more about where we stand right now. Ed, appreciate you joining us for a second day during this now 6 or 7 day trial. Today we heard from Cory Bigsby's sister, Codi's aunt. She testified that she last saw Codi under oath on September 2021, which refutes the prosecution story that he died in June of 2021. So hearing from her and that story, does that move the needle at all for the defense's case?
Well, Dan, it moves the needle if it moves the needle for the jury. Now, the jury is charged with being the finder of facts and the credibility of the witnesses. So, in other words, what that means is if the jury finds this to be persuasive, then yes, it could be helpful for the defense and harmful for the prosecution, but they get to decide what it means.
So her testimony conflicts with the testimony we heard earlier this week of the 7-year-old. It conflicts with some of the testimony we heard earlier this week from the mother of Codi Bigsby. So are jurors really at this point weighing the testimony of Codi's mom and brother versus aunt?
That's exactly what they're going to do, and in fact that is the role of the jury. A jury is charged with basically sifting through the evidence to find out what they think is most persuasive and determine whether the Commonwealth has met their burden. So in essence, yes, that's exactly their role.
All right, we got closing arguments here tomorrow. What are attorneys doing tonight to prepare? And just tell me about the importance of getting that right tomorrow.
Well, closing arguments are important, but all the research suggests that most jurors have a pretty good idea of what they're doing going into closing arguments. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they aren't important, because they are. It gives the lawyers an opportunity to stress certain aspects of the jury instructions, which are the instructions of law, the rules of the road for the jury, and it also gives the advocates an opportunity to help the jurors, perhaps get some ammunition to convince other jurors to their way of thinking when they get back into the jury room. So it's arming some of the other jurors as they go to do their job to reach a unanimous verdict.
It's possible we could have a verdict this time tomorrow. Ed, thank you for joining us. He's going to be back with us again in an hour. If you have any questions for Ed Booth regarding this case, just send me a message on Facebook or Instagram within the next 45 minutes or so, and we'll try and get that answered for you. Reporting live in Hampton, Dan Kennedy, 13 News Now.